guys, it is Tanya, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another speed build. Today we're doing a larger squish, I suppose. So this was fully intended to be a tiny home, but it ended up bigger than I thought it would be, but it's still only a 1-bedroom home, and it is still really small and kind of squished. It's just not as squishy as some of the squishes. I said that a lot, didn't I? But anyway, today we are building a steampunk tiny house, which I was very excited to do. This has actually been on my to-do list for absolutely ages, but as I've mentioned a ton of times before, like, I write things down that sound fun, but if they don't sound fun in the moment, I won't do them right then. And I was talking to one of my friends last night on voice chat, and I was just like, I want to build something tonight, but I'm not really sure what. And she was like, what about something steampunk inspired? And I was like, yes. And it just sounded so fun in the moment. So I came home and I built this, and I'm very, very happy with it. It's a pretty cool, like, I haven't looked into the architecture and like the design when it comes to steampunk before, so I did a lot of like looking at Google and Pinterest and getting inspired by that last night. I had mostly seen it in clothing, and so basically steampunk, I'm going to read you off of the internet because it's easier for me to explain that way. Steampunk is a subgenre of science fiction or science fantasy that incorporates technology and aesthetic designs inspired by 19th century industrial steam-powered machinery. So this was a really fun build. It's kind of super quirky. It's got lots of greens and coppers, and I used a lot of black as well. It actually uses a decent amount of base game furniture because a lot of it fits really well with that style. And then in the front here, I was thinking of making this a greenhouse, but it ends up still having large windows on it. I think I used the ones from City Living. Is that where they're from? They're like really giant windows, and the glass is clear on one side and blue on the other, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I wish it was clear on both sides, but they were the style I wanted. So I'll be placing those down momentarily. I tried a bunch of windows, but then I'm like, no, I need to use these ones. And I was really happy with that. And this ends up being where the dining area goes. So like when you walk in, you're kind of in an entrance room, and then if you go off to the right, there's the dining space, the kitchen, and then it opens up into the living room, and then upstairs there's a bedroom, like a loft bedroom, and then a bathroom. So it is very small, and this home comes in at around 71,000 simoleons. So it's not a starter home at all, but it was a lot of fun to do. And I guess I've just been into builds that are a little bit out of the norm lately. I just did the Hogwarts house, and I really want, or the Hogwarts tiny houses, and I really want to do more stuff like that. I'm like so ready for fall to be here. I'm so ready for like spooky season, and doing a lot of those kinds of builds. I'm not going to go too over the top with that because I want to save most of it for October so we can go crazy here, and I'm so excited about that. I know I've probably mentioned it 1,000 times by now, but I do really have a lot of fun with these more interesting and unique builds rather than always doing, this is a family home. Although those are so fun sometimes too because they're more realistic and you can relate, and you're like, oh my god, I want to live in this house, and you get really excited. But I also want to live in this house. Like, can I live out my fantasies? And that sounds like weird and inappropriate, but like my my desires and dreams to live in like a house that doesn't look like a real house. Oh, that'd be so cool. I've always been really interested in like steampunk fashion and stuff. And like seeing it put together in buildings as well is just so pleasing to me. And this was a struggle. As you can kind of see, I'm like constantly changing stuff around. I had no idea what shape this was going to be. It was definitely a lot of trial and error with this build, and most of it, up until it's finished being built, I was on a voice chat with one of my friends, and she was playing, oh gosh, what was she playing? She was playing some video game and like getting destroyed by whatever. I think it was a boss, and we were just hysterically laughing. I couldn't see what she was doing. She could if she wanted to see what I was doing, but we were just talking about completely different things and like kind of messing with each other, and it was just a really fun way to spend the night. It was like 3 or 4 a.m. when all of that was happening. And then I went to bed for the night, and I came back this morning and I furnished this, and I'm just really, really pleased with how this one came out. So I hope you guys do like it, and if you would like to download this build, it is on the Sims 4 gallery if you search Gryphi or the hashtag MsGryphi. That information is also down below, as well as a link you can click on that will bring you to the Sims 4 gallery website if you'd like to download it that way, if that's easier for you. So I'm just, I don't know. it's almost the weekend, sort of. It's Thursday, and I'm so ready for the weekend because this has been such a long week, and I can't wait to take my dog to the park this weekend. He is almost in the clear to meet other dogs, which is so exciting because I think I mentioned when I adopted him, he had kennel cough, which is incredibly common if you're getting a dog from a shelter, and he's been on medicine, and I haven't heard him cough in quite a few days, but he has a couple days left of medicine, and they said once you stop hearing him cough for 5 days, he's all clear, because I don't want to give other dogs kennel cough. But I am so excited. I cannot wait to bring him to a park and meet other dogs. It's going to be so fun, and you know what? I need to I need to stop talking about him and get back to this build. So we're working on landscaping now, and I kept it fairly simple, and I didn't keep that red tree. I thought it was a pretty color, and I didn't really feel like searching through the debug menu to get the dark green or dark red tree that you can see in the background, because we now have that with the new tree that was unlocked recently. However, I decided a red tree didn't even work as well as I wanted it to anyway, and I grabbed some of like dead pine trees from vampires, which I thought worked perfectly for this house, and I did keep the landscaping fairly simple. I didn't want it to be over the top, and I mean the house itself is so complicated that I thought overcomplicating the landscaping would just make it too much and a little bit of a mess and a lot to look at. So I just have a couple of trees here and there. I do have the tree in the front that's like those big circular bushes, which I just thought looked really fun and quirky here. But I mostly just have a couple of sized up low-lying bushes, a single rock, a couple of bushes elsewhere, and that's really it. That's the landscaping. It's probably the quickest landscaping I've done in a build in a long time because, you know, I spend forever because I love landscaping, but we are now on the interior of this build and I'm kind of painting the outside or the inside the same colors as the outside and figuring out which walls I want to be which one. And we're going to start with the kitchen because I always start with the kitchen. But first I'm like, where is it going to go? And I had to switch out some windows over here to make it work. And I used these countertops from Base Game because they were perfect. And then this range hood I really enjoyed as well, which I don't think I've ever used this one. So that was really cool. And I was switching back and forth with like which appliances to use. So I used this like wood fire stove, and I also used a black fridge, not the like one that matches that one. I think it's from Base Game as well. It might be an unlocked one. I'm not entirely sure, but I really liked it. I also loved adding this awning on the inside of the house in the kitchen area. I don't know why, but something about that just made me really happy. I think it looks really cool. Here's that fridge that I added. I just felt like it fit the style I was going for. And then we're deciding that the dining space is going to be over here. And I feel like I tried a ton of tables. We'll get to that shortly. And I also used these lights, not in this area. I ended up moving them to the dining space. These pendant lights that we got they're just like regular Edison bulbs from, they came with Laundry Day stuff. And I thought they would look really, really nice over here as dangling lights. So I was excited to add that. I also considered adding a picnic table in here as the table, which I thought looked kind of cool, but I decided against it in the end. And we ended up just having a table with 4 chairs, using these chairs that came with City Living, which I love them so much. And I worked around with these curtains a while, and I believe we went with these long floor-to-ceiling ones. Are those ones also from City Living? I'm not sure. There's some items I think they're from Dine Out. There's some items I use all the time, and I just can't remember what they're from. But I think those ones are from Dine Out. I might be wrong, though. And I feel like it's more confusing now that they updated the icons for all the packs so that all stuff packs were always the same color and all game packs were, but now all expansion packs have their own colors, and it's just so much harder to tell what you're grabbing now. And there's certain items like I look for based on their pack icon, and I'm like, I don't see it, and it's kind of frustrating, but hopefully I'll get over that at some point because they changed it, and I know there's mods to change it all back, and you know, I might consider it at some point. I think I'm just going to try to adjust, although the loading screen hurts my eyes a bit, but they are updating that. They're getting a darker color soon, so I'm just going to wait for that update for now. I used the loading screen a lot in one of my videos earlier this week, and I desaturated the video whenever it went to the loading screen. So let me know if that helps for anyone else that has problems looking at it for prolonged periods of time. If so, I'll continue to do that until they update it to the darker version. But anyway, we added this little table in the middle of the kitchen to kind of work as an island because I didn't feel like a full island fit here. It took up too much space because, while this really does stretch the idea of a tiny home, it is still a very small space you have to fit everything into. So it was definitely interesting. I kept placing down items and then changing my mind, and I ended up using this sofa from Base Game, which I thought looked so nice. And I was trying to figure out where I could put this clock, and then it didn't work, so we used this one, which is the same one from outside in a different swatch. And lots of like pipes and stuff going through this house, which I love doing, and I don't do it that often, so I thought it was nice to add those, plus fit the style really well. And then adding a different bookcase that I thought fit better, and I really wanted to add a fireplace in here, so I ended up putting it upstairs. I believe it ends up on the other side of the room, but upstairs. And then we used this coffee table. I don't remember what this is from, and now I'm staring at my screen like, what is this from? Oh no, I have no idea. I think it might be Seasons. I don't know, but I thought it worked really well because it combined the wood and the metal fixtures, which is definitely something that was very present in this house. And so I did that, and then the side table from Base Game, which worked so well. And then we have some candelabras, which I thought looked really cute as well. And actually, probably one of my favorite things in this build is the use of round windows. I really love using circular windows in my builds. It just looks so pretty, and it just adds a little bit of extra because I feel like you don't see round windows that often, or if you do, it's like one little one on the side of the house. Maybe it's stained glass. I don't know, but they're like a main feature here, as well as these giant city living windows, which are so pretty. But we put this TV under the steps and a couple of storage boxes as well, changing the colors of those, just to add a little bit more personality and clutter, as well as these leaning paintings, which I thought worked really well, and then the little book with the pen on it on the coffee table, because I use that in like every build. I also thought about adding a little bit of tile under the kitchen area, but decided against it in the end. But we did use this rug. I believe that's from Strangerville, which I thought looked nice. And then these chairs from Jungle Adventure also looked so pretty here. I was very excited about those. And then we're going to be adding a little office area over here by the steps. I believe we use a Base Game desk that is unlocked through the Ignore Gameplay Unlocks entitlement sheet. And of course, the really big chair that is also unlocked that way, that is just perfect for this area. It's just so elegant. Maybe not elegant. It's like fancy. I feel like that's what you see in an expensive office. And then just a couple of paintings, a little lantern, a cheap laptop, because for some reason I just thought that fit better here. And then these little pens as well, which are unlocked through one of the careers. Maybe it's business. I'm not really sure which one. I've never unlocked them. I've just taken them from the catalog. And that's actually true of a lot of objects. I have absolutely no idea where certain ones come from. Like, I might know what pack they're from, but if there's something that needs to be unlocked, I have no idea what career gets you that unlock. So, you know, that's not great. However, it's nice that we have a cheat that you can just grab them. And not have to play through all of these careers to get decorative items. But it is also cool to have that perk when you're playing through the game and you did so well in the, culinary career, and you get these new counters, because I know you get those from there, the like metal ones, which are really cool, because that's probably the career I've played through the most. But it's also nice to just be able to grab them or get the perk. I just said that in like 3 different ways, but overall approved. Just yay for cheats. But anyway, we are working on the bedroom now. I fiddled around with this for a very long time. I couldn't figure out, I knew the bed was going to go over here, but I couldn't figure out which wall should be what color, if I should have that separation, if I wanted those curtains. And upstairs definitely has some more grays and blacks than downstairs. It's less colorful up here, but I think it's a little bit more subdued in like a nice peaceful way. You can it's cozy and dark, and you can just sleep, and it's nice. So the bed is against the wall, so you could technically get 2 Sims in, but really it's more so like 1, because I know you're supposed to be able to get in and move over so another Sim can get in. So 2 Sims should be able to sleep in a bed against the wall, but it's just finicky and I never can get it to work. So this is really a 1 Sim household, but you could have somebody sleep on the couch, I guess. Or if you had a baby, there's room for a cot or a toddler bed. It's plausible. It's it's possible. However, it's really meant for 1 Sim. So if you're going to use this house, you probably only want 1 Sim. You could totally renovate it to make it more Sims, though. That'd be really cool to see. This is probably one of my favorite lots. It's like Cottage C, I think, which is in Windenburg. I love this lot so much. It's really pretty. I love putting magical, mystical builds here, or steampunk builds. But we're using some of this more industrial bathroom set that we got from Seasons, which I thought worked really, really well in here. and I'm just really happy with it. I actually have not playtested this at the time of doing this voiceover, but I'm going to before I upload it on the gallery. So everything should work. Hopefully I don't have to change anything, but I will make sure to go ahead and playtest that because I've definitely been getting a lot of people mentioning things not working, and I've been playtesting them, so hopefully it helps. But anyway, we are coming to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this one. If you did, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and if you click that bell, it'll turn on notifications to be notified of every single time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so very much for watching. We're going to go into screenshots now, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.